Hello ladies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here and you have no idea who I am, my name is Chanel. I run a brand called Chanelfiles, and over here on this corner of the YouTube world, we talk all things faith, fashion, food, and fitness. So if any of those things are of interest to you, then I would love and appreciate if you would hit that subscribe button so you know when I upload a new video. So as you guys can see from the title, today we're going to be talking about luxury items I have sold and why. I have a list here per usual so I can stay on track, and I just thought I would quickly share with you guys a few things that I have recently sold and some other items that I have listed that I have yet to sell, and my reasoning behind why I have sold or plan on selling these items. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, you guys, so the first thing and the most recent thing that I have recently sold is going to be my Sherling box bag. Now, I got this bag probably maybe 2018, 2019, give or take, and that was a really big check mark for me off of my kind of running wish list. The Sherling box bag is something that I have known that I've wanted to add to my handbag collection for years, and when I got it, I felt really good about it. I didn't have any immediate regrets about the bag at the time, but over the years, you guys, I just never wore the bag. I think for some reason, even though I was into wearing more crossbody bags during that point, I never wore the bag. I literally just never reached for the bag. And I want to say it was probably a year or so after purchasing the bag that I realized it might not have been the best purchase, but I decided to keep it just because it's like, again, it's a Sherling box bag. It's classic. It's something that, in my opinion, if you are someone that has a Sherling collection of any sort, you typically have a box bag. And that actually is something that I still do want to add back to my collection. But I think for the most part, it was the fact that it was a box leather. And I realized with that bag that I don't necessarily care for box leather in that particular bag. And not only that, but it had like a glossy, not patent leather finish, but it definitely had like a gloss, I don't know, finish put on top of it, and I didn't like that. I think going forward, when I do kind of decide to do my research and purchase another box bag, I do want to go for a grainy leather, like a Prada Saffiano type of leather, as opposed to just the flat box calf leather that one was in. And the green color, as beautiful as it is, as much as I love green, I think it might have been too deep of a forest green. I think it just wasn't neutral enough, especially because around that time, I want to say I purchased a couple of months later my Bottega Veneta green bag, which for me is more of a neutral, and the forest green was just a little too specific. And so for those reasons, I never wore the bag. I never gravitated to it, and honestly, I allowed it to sit in my closet for a lot longer than what I typically do when I've realized that I'm not wearing something. So for that reason, I decided to finally go ahead and list it. And let me just say, shout out to the person who bought the bag. They didn't even make an offer. Whoever it was quite literally just bought the bag straight out, and we love that. So shout out to you, sis, or bro, I don't know who bought the bag, but overall, you guys, I sold that bag simply because I did not wear the bag. However, I definitely still want to add a Sherling box bag back into my collection. I just now know the color and the finish of the bag that I want to have, guys. So the next item is something that honestly I'm a little bit embarrassed to say that I've sold, but it is what it is, and they are going to be my Chanel Sherling clogs. Now, I want to say, I know I did a reel for these. I don't think I did like a YouTube unboxing, but I want to say I'm sure I've talked about these in some video at some point, but I never wore them. I never wore those shoes, and I think the reason, or really I know the reason that I did not wear those shoes is because although I do love Sherling, we all know that, I'm very picky when it comes to suede. I don't know why, but I feel like suede for me, although it's a beautiful form of leather, I don't know, there's something about suede that doesn't wear well to me, and I'm very picky about like what colors I get in suede because again, in my opinion, it does not wear well. Are you a very oily person, which I am, as you probably can tell, and overall it just was something I didn't gravitate to. And I think when I think about those shoes, there are a lot of like fall, winter, seasonal like textural elements to those that were like one too many For example, suede, in my opinion, is a fabrication that I'm usually only going to wear during the fall and winter season. And then when you put shearling on top of that, that's even more of a seasonal fall winter shoe. For me, it either needs to be all suede or all shearling. I just found myself stumped on like how to wear them and when to wear them, and depending on the weather and depending where I'm going and what I'm doing and how long I'm going to be out, I'm so extra about not messing up suede that I never wore them. So I think for that reason, I did end up selling them, and honestly, I don't regret it. If I'm not wearing it, I'm not going to keep it. And honestly, I had not worn those more than maybe 3 times, and that's just not okay, especially considering that those shoes were over $1,200. I cannot justify or allow something to sit in my collection that is not going to get its wear. So moving on are going to be my Stella McCartney Skyla loafers. Now, the only reason I sold those was because they were a half a size too big, and for some reason I didn't think to size down a half a size, just because it's like, well, I'm a size 9, so naturally I'm just going to order a size 9, but those were too big. So I am in the market to get those again. It's just a matter of finding them at the price that I want to pay. I've seen them pop up randomly on like the Real and Vestiaire Collective, but none in a size 8.5, because at this point I do want to get an 8.5. But nonetheless, I only sold those because again, they were too big. I love the style. I love that they are platform. They're chunky, but there's something that is still very sleek and minimal about them, which I love. And I also do love the fact that they are a mixed metal with that thick chain on the top of the shoe. So again, only sold those because they were too big, but at some point I would love to add those back to my shoe collection. This item is going to be something that you guys probably never saw because I had my heyday of wearing it. I never shot it, and then I just never wore it, but it is going to be my Isabel Marant leather jacket. I got this, I want to say that was like 2018 that I got this, and I actually got it for a relatively decent price. I want to say the retail was give or take $1,100 or $1,200. I got it for about half off, which I was willing to pay and did not honestly think was too bad of a price, considering again it's Isabel and it was 100% genuine lamb leather. You guys never saw this, but I wore this a ton in real life. This was my everyday kind of like go-to fall winter heavy duty, because it actually was really heavy, just leather oversized biker jacket. I got so many compliments when I wore that jacket. However, there was a design element with that particular piece that I didn't love. It kind of was cut to where it was wider at the top but almost went in like an upside down triangle. So again, it was big and oversized in the shoulders and in the body of it, but then it like tapered in at the bottom. Why would you make it that way? Like, why would you not just make it a straight cut? And so for that reason, over time, it just annoyed me. It annoyed me. Although I got my wear out of it, it just bothered me and it fit weird. Had that jacket been cut just as a regular straight oversized leather jacket, I would still have it. It's a classic piece. It's something that you're going to have in your wardrobe for years to come, regardless of your style. Everyone can use a black oversized leather jacket, but I just couldn't handle the way that it felt when I wore it. So for that reason, that is why I decided to sell it. I am, of course, in the market to add something similar back to my wardrobe, but I'm not really in a rush to do so because I'm so picky. And of course, you guys know me, I'm going to always try to get something at the best price possible. But that is something that I did just want to mention. Last but not least, it is going to be 2 bags, but under one designer because they are the same bag. And it is going to be both of my J.W. Anderson Pierce bags. Now, I've spoken very highly about the J.W. Anderson Pierce bag. If you watch my videos from the past, you guys know I had this bag years ago when it first came out. I had this bag in a beautiful like rosy blush pink color, which I love. And I mentioned in the video when I talked about that bag that that actually was a color I regret selling. Nonetheless, I sold it and there's that. In the interim, I decided to get that bag in a shearling and suede color, which, like those Chanel shoes, I now know we don't do shearling and suede in one piece. But I ended up selling that bag because, like the Chanel shoes, it just was too many fall winter elements in one piece. And then I also decided to purchase the bag in this beautiful kind of cobalt blue color. And though it's a beautiful color, I quickly realized it's too bright. It's simply just too bright. I don't wear colors that bright, at least blue bright colors, especially because over the years I have found myself gravitating very naturally, not intentionally, but I've just been more intrigued with muted colors, not necessarily neutral colors, but more muted colors, which of course includes more neutral colors. And so for that reason, that is why I am listing or have listed the blue color. Now, again, the suede and the Sherling color I have sold. I want to say I sold that one maybe 4 or 5 months ago on my vestiaire closet, but I do now have the blue color listed in my vestiaire and my Poshmark closet. And again, the Sherling and the suede bag was just, it's too many elements in one bag. It's either going to be all suede or it's going to be all Sherling or all leather. And the blue color was just too bright. And like I said, this is something that I'm learning as I go, as my style evolves. I'm really understanding what it is I like and what it is that makes sense for my lifestyle. Suede is not something that makes a lot of sense for me unless it's all suede and it's a certain color that I don't have to babysit. Certain suede colors, creams, whites, lighter colors, even certain light browns or certain just like neutral light colors in suede, I'm not gonna buy that, because once you wear that bag and you get oil on it or you get fingerprints on it or dirt comes on it, it's very hard to clean suede and to just keep it maintained and allow it to look fresh out the box for a long period of time. So I now know, having the Chanel shoes, having had the JW Anderson bag, suede is something that I have to get in a darker color. And then again, when it comes to Sherling, it just needs to be all Sherling. Just one Sherling piece, not a Sherling trim, not a Sherling touch, not a Sherling hint, just 100% Sherling on the entire piece. I cannot mix the two together. I just won't wear it. And again, the blue was simply just too bright. So these bags have been sold or are listed to be sold in my closet. And this bag, much like the Celine box bag, this is something that I do know 100% I'm going to add back to my collection. It's just about now finding the right color and the right fabrication. And it's kind of, I don't want to say it's sad because it's just a part of the process, but it is unfortunate that sometimes you spend a lot of money on things only to realize, oh, I don't like this color. Oh, I don't wear this color. Oh, this fabrication doesn't really work for my lifestyle. And you end up maybe losing money when you sell it. But sometimes you do just have to go through that trial of understanding, okay, I bought it, didn't wear it, sold it, maybe lost a couple of $100s. Now I know going forward what I like, what I don't like, what fits into my lifestyle and what does not, fit into my lifestyle. So that is everything. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if there are any luxury items you guys have sold and why, or even plan on selling and why. I think it's a very interesting conversation to have when it comes to luxury items and why we sell the things that we have once spent a nice pretty penny on, especially because I'm sure at some point we thought that that item was worth the amount of money. So let me know down below what luxury items you guys plan on selling and why, or have sold and why. As I mentioned before, if you are not already subscribed, sis, do me a solid, hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell notification so you know when I upload a new video. Follow me over on Instagram at Chanelfiles. Check out my blog, Chanelfiles.com. And of course, last but certainly not least, stay safe, stay blessed, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.